I don't want to belabor this because, like I said at the beginning, this is a 25 minute chat. You're still laughing. You're still laughing after everything you've gone through. Where does the laughter come from?
Well, what's the point of crying? Like you cry for a laugh, you cry for whatever, but I can't cry the rest of my life. Like I want some quality of life. So I don't think anybody would want you to cry after them for the rest of your life because they're not here. Because I think it does, like, I'd rather live a joyful, happy life, knowing that what I had before the fire would have led to a joyful, happy life. So, like, I don't want to destroy that by being unhappy for the rest of my life.
And I notice on your Facebook page, on your personal one, every year there's a little note, and also every birthday you acknowledge each one of your siblings that have gone. That like I noticed, it could be one paragraph, some could be three or four paragraphs, some could be just a comment. Like you acknowledge their presence, and it's not just acknowledgement. You talk about them as they were to you.
Yes, because if they were alive, I'd be talking about them. They'd be celebrating birthdays. We'd be having parties. So I acknowledge that they're gone, but I also acknowledge that they were here. Like they existed. They brought happiness to people. They impacted people. Their loss impacted people. So I want to honor that.
And I
Not
don't
out of
know if this,
pity. I don't want people saying hugs and, we're
yes,
thinking about you. I don't want that. I just want to say, hey, like they existed. They lived. They were part of my life
it's still there.
and still are.
I'm going to wrap it up with there's a couple of things I want to ask you, but there's one scene as well with your sister Mary. She's the oldest, is she not, or is she the?
She's the oldest, yeah.
And there was a scene where you describe, I think it's in this book, where she's walking down the road by herself, and your
So
mother
that
went up.
was so I was not there. So this is what my
Okay,
mother told me, right?
okay.
So it was at the funeral and I was in the hospital, so I had no idea what was happening. But she was going down, the caskets were in the meadow because the church couldn't hold the 5 or 6 thousand people that came. And when they were bringing the coffins down from the meadow to bring them back to the graveyard, she was ahead of everybody else. And the fella that owned the funeral home, his son was there with him, and he went up and he linked into her and he helped her to the
What do you think she went through as the eldest child?
but see, she wasn't there. So like
Okay.
she had a not probably, she had a different experience than us because she got a phone call at 5 o'clock in the morning, getting ready, she'd be getting up going to work next day, and she got a phone call from the priest saying half your family is gone. So she didn't live there and she because she was in St. John's. So she was coming back to this and like had no idea what had happened.
Wow. Wow. Again, like I said, this is only a 25 minute chat. We could go on. I know I could go on, and I know you. If this is your life, you would love to share it with the read listener and reader. So please, I encourage everybody to get your copy. Uh, I understand it's a bit of a challenge getting the copies of that book. Now, is it still a challenge?
It's still a challenge, so you have to reach out to the publisher, which is Breakwater Books in St. John's, or reach out to me. I stack up from the Breakwater, and I have them here, so I would sign and send them to anybody that wanted.
Just to segue into, well, what is Ida Linehan Young doing these days? I mean, not to
I'm s-
minimize, but you know,
I'm still writing, so that book kind of launched me into all the top bar up there. And I have no intention of stopping, not yet anyway, and I enjoy it. I enjoy helping other writers. I have lots of stuff up on my website, which is idalinehanyoung.ca. Anytime there's an event, I hold workshops, I hold retreats. If I'm doing a signing, if I'm at a fair, craft fair, or whatever at a library, it will be on my website.
and I know you love talking to your readers.
Yes, so even book clubs, like I've been contacted by book clubs across the country who Zoom me in or FaceTime me into their book clubs, and we discuss the book, and I love it. I love interacting with readers. So like please reach out if anybody is in that situation and they're doing the book in club or they just want to, reach out, go for it. I have to say that a lot of people um have kind of physically come at me to embrace me without even speaking because they've read the book. Like they see me and they were like, ah, and they give me a hug and then they go on because they'd want to talk about it because he thinks it's going to, you know, be challenging, but it's not. Like I don't mind talking about it.
Your last thoughts for your reader, I'm going to start. We've been together now a few times, and I think we've got a title for this section, and I'm going to call it Ida's gratitude moment for your readers. What's Ida's gratitude moment for her readers?
Well, I'm just happy that people are reading my work. Like it's a gift to me that people read, review, talk about, enjoy, and look for titles by me and engage with me online. I love that part. I'm a people person and I love it.
So you're open to being approached on your Facebook, on your website.
150%. Yes.
Excellent.
Love it.
Ida, thank you again for this opportunity. I'm glad from I can be a bit self-centered here right now. I got through it without the tears. They were there, but I kept them under control. And I cautioned, and this is a good caution to the reader, that I read the first time. I vowed I was going to get through without shedding a tear, and I did it. But when I went back the second time, I guarantee you it was a challenge, and I'll leave it at that. So your final word, Ida.
Thank you, Mr. Oldford. I appreciate this and I look forward to continued interviews. And please check us out on YouTube because the videos will be shared there. And if you came across them there, you'll see some of the other ones that we've done. So thank you, Ed. I appreciate it. And thank you, everybody, for being readers.